After failing to settle the moon, mankind began mining it for resources in 2257. Before they can board a shuttle to colonize Omega, another planet, miners must work for 20 years. If a person passes away before their designated number of years is completed, their next of kin is required to complete the remaining years and, if they are older than 18, their own 20. After his death in a mining accident, Caleb Channing's father, Michael, stipulates in his last will and testament that Caleb be sent to Omega because he is under 18. Since his father promised to show him the map to a crater on the moon, Caleb is reluctant to leave. He still has 3 days left before he is hauled away, though. In order to go to the crater in a rover, Caleb persuades his closest buddy Dylan, their buddies Borny and Marcus, to accompany him. Dylan enlists Addison Weaver, an esteemed Earth scientist's daughter, to assist him in obtaining the passcodes necessary for them to exit the base. Addison consents as long as she goes along with it. The five drive the rover across the moon's surface and pause to take in the scenery. Each of the children discloses personal details about themselves along the way. For example, Marcus needs to take medication for a heart issue, and Borny's neurotic tendencies are a result of his older brother reading him stories. Dylan tells how his father's mining job almost caused him and his mother to be abandoned. Borny almost gets launched into space while they are playing a game of launch with the oxygen canisters, but the other kids save him. They find an outpost after suffering severe oxygen deprivation, and upon arriving, they learn that it is actually a model home intended for human colonization of the moon. After finding food and oxygen, the youngsters spend the night. Addison tells tales of Earth's past while expressing her concern that humanity would eventually lose it all. She was upset when her mother decided to bring her younger brother Charlie to Omega after her parents' divorce. The following day, when the children take the rover outside, the battery dies. As they go for the crater, Addison hits the emergency call button. When the children get at the crater, they find that it is a massive luminous cube that serves as the entrance to an underground bunker with a tree and pond. They discover a hidden button that allows the bunker to mimic Earth's surface. Caleb discovers his mother's ashes and a picture of his parents inside a secret crack in the floor that has a star scratched on it. He then places his father's ashes next to his mother's. When Caleb realizes that his father committed suicide so he could attend Omega, he becomes resistant to leaving, but Dylan persuades him to go. As the kids rush Marcus back to the rover after he unexpectedly passes out from his heart ailment, a meteor storm breaks out. They make it back, but not before a falling boulder cracks Dylan's visor, rendering him comatose, and the rover's front window breaks, forcing the youngsters to stay in their suits. Just before rescuers arrive and their oxygen runs short, Caleb tries to make amends with Dylan. Astonished that he was unable to bid his friends farewell, Caleb wakes up to find that he has already been sent to Omega. After receiving a recording device, he finds out that all of his pals are doing well and that they are permitted to communicate him once a year for the duration of Caleb's 75-year voyage to Omega. Caleb finds out that Addison organized a walkout to get better terms for the miners' contracts, and that Marcus founded a baseball club. Borny was appointed chief administrator, and they were successful. Eventually, Dylan and Addison were married, had children, and then grandchildren. Charlie and Caleb exchange stories when they run into each other.